I was reading the press notes that you said something about you always believe that the good guys win.
Mhm.
Do you still believe this?
I think in a way, yeah, I think I probably always will. It may not always be a win in the way we think it is. It may not be an idyllic movie ending. Sometimes it may take longer than it should and be more brutal than it should, but I guess if I ever completely and absolutely lost that belief and that hope, it would probably make living very hard.
Seems like it would have been easy for both of you to just say, okay, we're out. I'm not there. I'm not in that horrible place. Let's move on. Was that ever even an issue with either of you?
No.
No, and that that would have been the hardest thing, because then you're left with
Just dangling over
this
your
person's
head.
that I love is in prison and he's unjustly convicted, and the injustice, all of that, and I couldn't have gone on.
How long did it take you guys to think, yes, I mean, obviously you had to get out of there.
Oh, I thought it immediately. It wasn't even a question. I was dying by the point that they, brought up this Alford plea. My health had gotten so bad that there were times when I was so sick I didn't think I was going to make it through the night. I was losing my eyesight. I weighed 60 pounds less than I do right now whenever I got out of prison last year. It was, not only that, but in the documentary, the prosecutor says one of his big concerns in this deal was that me, Jason, and Jesse could have sued the state for almost $60 million. And they can have you stabbed to death for $50 in prison any day of the week. It's nothing out of the ordinary, stuff like that. So I knew whether it was just because I got so sick that I finally died. There's no health care in there. They're not going to spend time and money and energy taking care of somebody they plan on killing. So I knew whether it was just dying from that or from violence, whatever it was, I knew that without this deal, I was never going to see the outside of those walls again. So for me, it was just, sort of a no-brainer.
You're out. You're free. What is the best thing that has happened for you two, both of you as a couple, besides being together, that you've faced since 2011?
The best thing?
Yeah.
Well, we finally started getting our own house, getting a place to live, and starting our own life together. When we left Arkansas, literally, I left like a refugee. I didn't have a single penny in my pocket. I didn't have a suit of clothes to change into and nowhere to go. So the past year has almost been like a frantic scramble to try to dig out a place for ourselves in the world and figure out how to survive and things like that. And now we're finally feeling like we're making some traction in that area, and we have a house that we love, and we're starting to put our lives together. So that's probably the best thing.
Is West of Memphis helping you do that?
Yeah.
Yes, it is. Of course it is. And also because I feel that all the work we're doing now is going to affect everything in the future, and in a good way. As far as getting the story out, it's a great platform for people to learn. So I'm hoping that will lead to their exoneration, and that's an amazing thing.
Well, I hope so.
You said a while ago, were we ever tempted to just, let it go and try to move on? And we can't. We don't have a sense of closure. And we won't have that sense of closure until we're exonerated, the person who belongs in prison is in prison, and the people who did this to us are held responsible. So for us, it's almost like we have to keep doing this. We have to let the state of Arkansas know we're not going anywhere until you do the right thing. So for us, that's a huge part of what this is about. Mm. We also try to keep in mind that every single person who sees this documentary is a potential jury member in the future. They can make sure the same thing isn't done to someone else.